I am excited to introduce the Stimpod 450X that is now able to do both AMG technology or acceleromyography and EMG with the simple change of a cable. To start, I'm going to show you how the system operates using AMG. So if I put in the AMG cable, I'm going to turn the device on, put on the AMG cable, and now it's ready to do AMG. It will remember the last milliamps that I have set, and it first comes up to auto mode. Auto mode is a one-button NMT monitoring mode that will automatically calculate the milliamps that is appropriate to use based on the location of my electrodes, and then it will go into a program mode of doing train of fours and post-tectonic counts depending on the patient's responses. If you don't want to do the automatic mode, you would just press the menu key and that brings up the train of four mode. And once again, it automatically remembers the milliamps that you've done in the past. Typically you would have this set at 60 milliamps, which is adequate for almost every situation. So pressing the menu key one time brings up train of four, but I also have the ability of doing post-tectonic count, which is 5 seconds of tetanus followed by 20 twitches, and then it'll give you a reading over in the side of what those how many twitches it found. If it found 5 post-tectonic count, it'd be a while before you're going to get your first twitch or first one of 4. If it gave you a post-tectonic count of like 16, then you're getting close to getting your first train of 4. The accelerometer on the Stimpod is on our version 5 now. It's a new accelerometer that has extreme accuracy or excellent accuracy. It is 3-dimensional. It self-calibrates every time you do a train of 4, so you never have to calibrate it. You can take this device in the beginning of a case, the middle of a case, the end of a case, and it'll give you accurate readings on your quantitative train of 4. You can go to the recovery room or the PACU and take a train of 4 on a patient that's not responding well or having trouble breathing, and you can rule out or in that it's residual paralytic on board. So if the patient is 60%, you know it's paralytic. If the patient is 90 or above, you know it's something else, maybe analgesia or anesthetic that continues on. So with the accelerometer, it basically has a strap, and we offer 2 different straps. Because it's 3-dimensional, you can locate it on the side of the thumb, you can locate it on the thumb print, you can locate it on the thumbnail, you can even locate it this way. So it really doesn't matter how it's located, and we have 2 different straps, one for large thumbs or one for big toes doing the tibia nerve. So I have it set up, that was post-tectonic count. I'm going to go through the different modes again. So we had the automatic mode, train of 4 mode, post-tectonic count mode. If I press the menu key, it brings up SMC, which is supra-maximal current, which will basically determine whether my electrodes are on appropriately and give me the appropriate milliamps for that. If I press it one more time, I get the DEP, or depolarizing agent mode. What that does is it basically is able to monitor sucks and depolarizing agents. So that's a mode that's kind of new and nice to have. We also have basic twitch, and you can change the twitch to 5 Hertz, 1 Hertz, or 2 Hertz over there. And then you have tetanus, and you can do 50 Hertz or 100 Hertz. And then finally you press the menu key again, it goes to double burst. Any of those modes that you don't find that you need to use or want to use, we can hide and put inactive so you don't see them. Once again, we go back to the automatic mode, and I'm going to show you how that works right now. I'm going to basically select it, and it's going to automatically figure out what's the milliamps appropriate for my ECG leads that I have in place. And it found it to be at 35, and it's going to do a train of 4 at 35. And now it's in an automatic mode, so it's going to think that I'm recovered because I don't have any paralytic on board, and it's going to do a train of 4 every 15 seconds. And then if I had 0 of 4, it would give me every 15 minutes. So it goes through a program mode. I'm going to take it out of that mode, and I'm going to show you that if you just went to train of 4, this is how many people use it, because they maybe have already intubated the patient, they've already given paralytic, and now they say, oh, I need to monitor my paralytic. So they turn on the device, they touch the menu key, bring it up to train of 4, it remembers the milliamps you last used. Once again, you'd probably be at 60 milliamps. And then they basically press the stimulate key, you'll see 4 green lights here and you'll see 4 green lights here. That indicates that I'm doing a train of 4. It gives me my 4 bar graphs. In this case, I'm 109%, which means I don't have any paralytic on board. You notice we also do not truncate any numbers. If my 4th twitch compared to my 1st twitch is 109%, it delivers that 109%. Gives you the bar graphs, gives you the TOF ratio, and that is the information that you would need. If I want to do repeat train of 4s, I can press and hold this down for a full 1.5 seconds, and it brings up a little clock that will then put it in a repeat mode. Right now I have the repeat mode at every 15 minutes, but I can press this and change it to every 30 seconds. I can change it to every 1 minute or 2 minutes, 5 minutes, or back up to 15 minutes. So I have the ability of change the repeat timer mode on the fly. Once again, I can get out of that mode by just pressing the menu key, or I can press the stimulate button for a full 1.5 seconds and it takes it out of that automatic mode. To change some of the basic things, to change the milliamps, I simply spin the wheel here with my finger, bring it up to 70 milliamps. I don't press enter and it goes back to 35. So if I wanted to do 30 milliamps and I pressed enter, then it would be locked in place. So you do have to press enter after you've made the adjustment. So the on-off button here, the stimulate button here, the changing the milliamps is here, the enter button here, and the menu button here. In the menu, you can hold the menu key down for a 1.5 seconds and it will bring up a deep menu that will allow you to do multiple things. So I can change this by going to NMT settings, press enter. Here I can change the repeat timers, I can change the refractory modes, I can change the auto timers, I can deactivate or activate different modes. So for example, if I didn't want to do double burst, for example, I could go to active modes and I would press enter, and then I would spin down to double burst. And I could get rid of tetanus and twitch and tetanus, because you really don't use those because you have post-tectonic count now. Once again, post-tectonic count does your 5 seconds of tetany followed by 20 twitches and gives you a count. So I could go down to double burst and I can say enter. I want to deselect that, so now you would not see double burst in the menu. And then I can get out of that menu and just go back. Okay, so that's basic operation using acceleromyography with the Zavant Stimpod 450X. Now I'm going to show you by the simple change of a cable, I can go from AMG technology and take off this. And the advantages of AMG obviously is for if I have a patient that has their arms out and I have good thumb movement, I'm able to do that with electrodes that cost virtually nothing. With our AMG cable, we are able to insert that. And now that brings up AMG, and this is our AMG sensor. I might show you that the packaging shows how to connect the AMG sensor. I open this up, and I've used this sensor multiple times, but that's and some of the nice design features of it is it gives me a little extra flex in location, so I can locate it easily on a right-handed patient or a left-handed patient to do my monitoring. And the way you install this or add this is you basically take off the first 2 electrodes. This is the reference electrode. We recommend going onto the side of the knuckle, and once again I've used this electrode multiple times. And then the EMG sensor you put on the abductor pollicis, which is basically that fatty tissue there, and then you take off the electrodes. And we recommend 2 centimeters down from the crease of your wrist, so that would be approximately right there, and then I'm able to connect my sensor. So now I have the EMG on, and I'm going to basically be able to show you that. So I'm going to do a train of 4, and that shows I'm 136%. Typically we don't truncate numbers. Obviously I don't have any paralytic on board. If I was going to try to hinder my motion, I could do it this way, and I would be able to show that. So I'm going to stimulate there. And there, without any motion at all, I get a reading in my bar graphs. So that's using train of 4 and our EMG technology. Once again, I've used this EMG sensor probably 20 times, yet the adhesive on it is very good and will last a 6-hour plus long case. And you'll notice we have a microprocessor here. This microprocessor does all the calculations and then sends the information along the cable. So the cable does not act as an antenna to draw in interference. So as a result, we have more accurate readings, and we have no interference in the OR. So that is EMG technology. With a change of a cable, you can use EMG. And what we found that most clients or hospitals can do 80% of their procedures using our EMG. Our EMG is significantly more accurate than in past. It's a three-dimensional accelerometer, so it really works well. And then on those robotic cases or tucked arm cases, we have an excellent sensor in our EMG. This can be taped on the outside or on the inside of the arm for a tucked patient. So that's the Stimpod 450X that has the ability of doing AMG or acceleromyography or EMG with a simple change of a cable. With EMG, you do have a sensor cost. With AMG, you don't have a sensor cost. The end result is, with a 10,000 surgeries, you can save close to $175,000 by doing 80% of your train of 4 monitoring with acceleromyography, and then 20% of your cases using EMG. The EMG sensor does cost around $20. Once again, these have no cost. The nice thing about the device is the device works well with EMG or AMG, works the same basically. So if you learn how to use it one way, it's going to work for you those ways also. We also have a new IV pole mount that is adjustable for a vertical or horizontal IV pole, and it allows you to attach the device to the IV pole and be able to hand tighten it and then adjust it from a height standpoint or location standpoint so that you can see it easily during cases. Having an IV pole mount gives the monitor a home, and thus you have less loss of devices, and it just works better. Yet it's easy to take it off of the IV pole mount, so I can use it in my hand or take it to the PACU and use it and then put it back where it has its home. Okay, so that's the Stimpod 450X from Zavant and from Bell Medical. Thank you for taking a look and considering trialing our EMG and AMG technology. Thank you very much.